The crash in the dark. The night was quiet. The sky was dark, filled with stars. A cool wind moved through the trees in the forest. Everything was still. Until the silence broke. A loud sound came from the sky like thunder, but sharper. A bright light shot across the sky, leaving a trail of fire behind it. Birds flew away in fear. Somewhere deep in the forest, something crashed into the earth with a huge explosion. Animals ran. Trees shook. Smoke rose into the air. In a small nearby village, people heard the sound. Some looked out of their windows. Others locked their doors and turned off their lights. No one wanted to go near the forest. It was dark, cold, and full of shadows. But inside the forest, something was moving. A broken pod, half buried in the ground, hissed and sparked. It was not from this world. It was made of strange metal and glowing symbols. One side of it opened slowly with a creaking sound. Smoke came out. Then, a hand. Or something like a hand. Thin, long fingers pulled against the edge. A weak figure crawled out. Its skin was pale blue. Its body was small but not human. Its large black eyes blinked slowly. It was hurt. Its arm was bleeding a dark, thick liquid. It coughed and held its side. It looked around, breathing hard. It was alone. The alien tried to stand, but its legs were shaking. It made a soft noise like a whisper in a language no one on Earth could understand. Then it collapsed to the ground, hiding behind a fallen log, trying not to make a sound. It was scared. Suddenly it heard footsteps, crunch, crunch, crunch. The sound of boots walking through the leaves. The alien's eyes widened. It tried to move but could not. It pulled its body further into the shadows. It watched carefully, heart pounding. A flashlight flicked on. A young man walked into the crash site. He wore a backpack and held a metal walking stick. His name was Adam. He lived alone on the edge of the village. He liked quiet nights and long walks in the forest. When he saw the fire in the sky, he followed it. He expected to find maybe a fallen tree or a small fire, but what he saw now was something else. He walked closer to the pod, eyes wide. He touched the metal. It was warm. "What is this?" he whispered. Then he heard it. A soft sound, like breathing. He turned. "Hello?" he called out. "Is someone there?" Silence. The alien held its breath. It wanted to run, but its legs would not move. Its vision was blurry. It felt dizzy. Adam pointed his flashlight toward the trees. He walked slowly, one step at a time. The beam of light moved over the forest floor, then stopped. Two glowing eyes looked back at him from the shadows. Adam froze. The alien didn't move. The two stared at each other for a long second. Adam's mouth fell open. "What are you?" he said softly. The alien blinked. Adam didn't run. He didn't scream. He took one step forward, then stopped. He could see the creature was hurt. It was shaking. Its skin looked burned. Its hands were covered in dirt and blood. "I won't hurt you," Adam said. He placed the flashlight on the ground and raised both hands. The alien didn't understand the words, but it could feel the voice was calm, not angry. Adam took off his jacket and slowly moved forward. The alien tried to speak, but its voice cracked. It closed its eyes. Then its body gave up. It fainted. Adam rushed forward and caught it before it hit the ground. He looked down at the strange creature in his arms. "I don't know what you are," he whispered, "but you need help." Smoke still rose behind them from the broken ship. In the distance, the stars moved silently across the sky. Somewhere, far above the Earth, satellites turned and watched. Something had arrived. And now, it had been found. Fear meets curiosity. Adam stood alone in the middle of the forest, holding something not from this world. The alien's skin felt cold. Its breathing was weak. It was smaller than a human, but heavier than it looked. Its body was soft, fragile, and covered in strange wounds. He had no idea what it was, but one thing was clear. It needed help. He looked around. The trees stood silent. The crashed pod behind him was still smoking, but he knew it wouldn't stay hidden for long. Someone would come. Someone powerful. Adam tightened his grip and began walking through the trees fast and quiet. He didn't use his flashlight. He knew the forest well, even in the dark. That night, the darkness became his shield. After half an hour, he reached the edge of the forest. His old wooden cabin stood there, small and quiet, surrounded by tall grass. He opened the back door slowly, checking to make sure no one had followed him. He placed the alien gently on an old blanket inside the tool shed. It was the safest place for now. The alien lay still, unconscious, its chest rising slowly. Adam lit a small oil lamp and sat beside it. "What are you?" he whispered. He looked closely at its body. It had no clothes, only a thin layer of skin with tiny marks, almost like scars. Its face was calm, but the wounds on its arms and legs looked serious. Black liquid had dried around the cuts. Adam ran to his cabin, grabbed a first aid kit, and returned. He didn't know if human medicine would work, but he had to try. As he cleaned the wounds, the alien flinched. Its eyes opened suddenly. Adam jumped back. The alien sat up halfway, confused and scared. It looked at him, breathing fast. "It's okay," Adam said, hands up, voice calm. "I'm helping you." The alien looked at the blood on its arms, then at the bandages. It seemed to understand. Slowly, it lowered its head again, but its eyes stayed on Adam, watching every move. Adam placed water and a piece of bread near it. "I don't know what you eat, but this is all I have." The alien didn't touch the food. Instead, it looked around the shed, then back at him. It opened its mouth and spoke, but the words were like music, strange and echoing, impossible to understand. "I don't know your language," Adam said, pointing to himself. "I'm Adam. Adam." He pointed to the alien. It tilted its head, then tapped its chest with 2 fingers. A soft sound followed. "Krin." Adam smiled. "Krin? Okay." For the next few hours, neither of them spoke. Adam watched. Krin rested, eyes half closed but alert. Outside, the wind blew softly. The stars above moved across the sky. The night passed slowly, but far away. Others had noticed. Cut to Deep Space Station, unknown location, a dark room full of blinking lights. Figures in tall armor stood around a screen, watching Earth from high above. Commander voice. "We lost the pod. A signal was sent before it crashed." Soldier. "Do you want us to retrieve the subject?" Commander. "No, not retrieve. Terminate. It knows too much, and if the humans touch it, they'll know too." Soldier. "Understood." The ship changed direction. Destination. Earth. Cut back to Earth. Morning light. Adam opened the shed door. Sunlight fell on Krin's face. The alien blinked slowly and sat up. It looked tired but better. Adam gave a small wave. "Good morning." Krin didn't reply but picked up a small stick and started drawing something on the dirt floor. A circle, then stars, then a symbol that looked like Earth. It pointed to the symbol and then made a large X over it. Adam frowned. "Danger." Krin nodded. Adam's heart sank. "More of you are coming." Krin didn't answer directly. Instead, it drew a larger ship beside Earth's symbol, then flames, then another figure, much bigger, with weapons. Adam stepped back, trying to understand. "You're not the threat, are you?" Krin pointed to itself, then drew a broken chain. Adam looked into its black eyes. He understood now. "You escaped." Krin nodded slowly. Suddenly, Krin's head turned sharply toward the sky. Adam listened. A faint hum in the distance. Not a plane. Not thunder. Something else. Something coming. That night, miles away, a group of government agents arrived at the crash site. They stood around the broken pod. One of them wore a suit and held a strange device. "It's empty," an agent said. The man in the suit looked at the ground. He touched the dirt. "Footprints," he whispered. "Someone found it." He stood up slowly. "Find them. Now." The trees stood still, but they were no longer watching in silence. Something new had entered Earth's story, and nothing would ever be the same again. Whispers in the sky morning light painted the forest in soft gold, but something felt wrong. The birds were quiet. The wind had stopped. It was as if the forest itself was holding its breath. Adam stood at the window of his cabin, watching the trees. He hadn't slept. Not really. His eyes were tired, but his mind wouldn't rest. In the shed, Kay-Rin was awake. The alien moved slowly, still weak but healing faster than Adam expected. Bandages now covered most of its wounds. It had begun to eat, small amounts of fruit and water, and even tried to speak again, though the words were still strange and soft like echoes inside a cave. Adam entered the shed quietly, holding a notebook and a pen. "We need to talk," he said. Kay-Rin looked up, head tilted. Adam opened the notebook. He drew a picture of Earth. Then, next to it, he drew Kay-Rin's broken pod, a large spaceship, and a group of tall alien figures with weapons. He pointed at the enemy ship. "Are they coming?" Kay-Rin looked away. Adam asked again, softer. "Please." The alien finally nodded. Adam's chest tightened. "How much time do we have?" Kay-Rin didn't know the word time, but it drew a sun in the dirt, then covered it with a hand. Darkness. Adam understood. "Soon." Kay-Rin picked up the pen and started drawing. It wasn't a ship this time. It was a group of alien faces, cold, angry, sharp, soldiers. Then Kay-Rin drew a circle around itself and broke it with a line. Adam watched closely. "You were a prisoner?" Kay-Rin nodded. "And you escaped?" Another nod. Adam looked at the symbol for Earth. "Why here?" Kay-Rin tapped its chest, then pointed to Earth's circle. It whispered a word Adam didn't know, but it sounded gentle. Almost like hope. He stared at Kay-Rin for a long time. "You came here because you thought we were better." Kay-Rin didn't reply. It just looked down, but far above them the sky had already begun to whisper. Cut to satellite control. Center, Earth orbit. A blinking red light appeared on a military screen. A technician leaned forward. "Unidentified object detected. It's moving fast." "How fast?" the officer asked. "Faster than anything we've ever seen." The officer turned pale. "Where's it going?" The screen zoomed in. A red dot pulsed over the forest near Adam's village. "Here," the technician whispered. The officer picked up a phone. "Call the agency." Cut to secret agency base. A man in a gray suit stood in a dark room, watching drone footage of the crash site. He turned to his team. "We've confirmed it. It wasn't a meteor. It was a pod. And someone took the passenger." A younger agent asked, "What if it was just an animal?" The man smiled coldly. "Animals don't draw power from the stars, and animals don't trigger deep space sensors." He paused, then said, "It's alive. And now, it's not alone." Cut back to Adam's cabin. Night. Adam walked outside and stared at the sky. He didn't know what was coming, but he felt it. The air was too quiet. The stars above looked wrong, like they were being watched. Back in the shed, Kay-Rin stood by the window. Its body glowed faintly now, a soft blue, light pulsing beneath the skin. It wasn't just healing. Something inside it was changing. Adam stepped in. "You're getting stronger." Kay-Rin nodded. Adam frowned. "Can you fight?" Kay-Rin shook its head, then pointed to Adam. "I'm not a fighter," Adam said. Kay-Rin placed its hand over Adam's chest, then whispered another soft word. Adam felt something warm in his heart. He didn't understand the word, but somehow he felt it meant courage. Cut to agents arriving in the village. Black vans rolled quietly through the streets. Men in dark suits got out, holding strange devices. They scanned the air, following the faint energy signal. One device blinked red. The agent looked up. This way. They turned toward the forest. Cut 2. Alien ship, high above Earth. The enemy ship hovered in silent orbit, invisible to human eyes. Inside, the alien commander stood before a screen showing Kayrin's face. "We gave you a place. We gave you a purpose," the commander said coldly. "You chose weakness. You chose them." The ship powered up weapons. "Now we choose your end." Back on Earth, that night Kayrin suddenly woke up in panic. It grabbed Adam's hand and pulled him outside. The sky above was glowing, tiny flashes of red, like lightning behind clouds. Adam looked up. "What is that?" Kayrin's eyes were wide with fear. Adam whispered, "They're here, aren't they?" Kayrin nodded, and from the sky a deep sound rolled across the land. Not thunder, not wind. Something worse. Something coming. Kindness is not weakness. The sky was no longer peaceful. Strange clouds moved above the trees, glowing with a light that didn't belong to this world. The stars, once calm and steady, now flickered like broken fire. Adam stood outside his cabin, staring upward. Kayrin stood beside him, silent. Its black eyes were wide. The soft glow beneath its skin was brighter now, its body reacting to something only it could feel. "They're getting closer, aren't they?" Adam asked quietly. Kayrin nodded. But they both knew something more had changed. Not just the sky, but the world. Flashback. Kayrin's memories. Kayrin was once part of a powerful alien race. A race that believed in strength above all else. Weakness was punished. Kindness was mocked. Helping others was seen as betrayal. Kayrin had once believed that too, until it saw a small creature on another planet. A wounded animal crying in the dark. Everyone else ignored it, but Kayrin stopped. It wrapped the creature in cloth and gave it warmth. That act of mercy was enough to mark Kayrin as broken. The punishment was exile. And then, the crash on Earth. Now, standing beside a human who had helped without asking anything in return, Kayrin began to understand. Kindness was not weakness. It was power. Back to present. Adam's cabin inside. The cabin, Adam prepared food. Kayrin watched him closely, curious. Adam smiled. "This is called soup. It's warm. It helps when you feel tired." Kayrin didn't understand the words, but the smell made it relax. It sat quietly, studying the wooden shelves, the fireplace, the family photos. A small picture caught its eye. Adam with an older woman. Kayrin pointed. Adam looked over. "That was my mom." Kayrin touched the picture gently. "Gone?" Adam nodded. "Cancer. A slow kind of death." Kayrin lowered its head. It understood loss, far too well. "You remind me of her," Adam said. "Not how you look, but the way you act. She helped everyone, even if they didn't deserve it." Kayrin tilted its head. "Deserve?" Adam nodded. "She used to say, help without expecting anything. That's what makes you human." Kayrin looked into his eyes. A quiet moment passed between them. Outside, the wind began to howl. Cut to government agents, deep in the forest. Flashlights cut through the darkness. Men in black moved through the trees with quiet steps. The lead agent held a tracker. Oh, red light blinked faster now. "We're close," he whispered. Another agent raised a drone. It lifted silently into the air. On a screen, thermal shapes appeared, 2 figures near a small cabin. The agent smirked. "Got them." Cut to enemy, alien ship, orbiting Earth. Inside the dark ship, the alien commander stood before a control panel. A deep ancient voice echoed through the hall. "Target, Kayrin. Status, rogue." A screen showed Earth glowing in green. Earth is soft. Their people are soft. Their kindness is a disease. The ship charged its systems, prepare to burn it. Clean. Back to Adam's cabin. Night grows colder. That night, Adam sat by the fire, writing in his notebook. He drew the earth again, this time adding ships, explosions, and a single figure holding a light. Corinne sat beside him. "You don't have to stay," Adam said. "I know they're looking for you, and I know what's coming." Corinne didn't answer. It slowly reached for the notebook. With careful fingers, it drew a shield around the earth, then placed a small circle inside it. Adam looked closer. "Is that me?" Corinne nodded, then placed its hand over its own heart. "You don't have to protect me," Adam said. Corinne pointed to him, then to itself. Together. Cut. 2. Agents approaching the cabin. The agents crouched behind the trees, rifles ready. The lead agent raised his hand. "On my mark." Suddenly, light. The shed behind the cabin glowed. A blue pulse burst from inside. A low hum vibrated through the air. The agents froze. "What the hell was that?" One whispered. Inside the shed, Corinne activates something. Corinne stood in front of a glowing object. It was a small orb hidden deep in its suit. A piece of home. A last piece of its technology. It placed the orb on the ground. Symbols lit up. Adam rushed in. "What are you doing?" Corinne looked at him. "Calling for help?" Adam asked. Corinne shook its head. "Shield." Adam frowned. "Shield from what?" Suddenly, a noise like thunder crashed from the sky. Cut to orbit. Enemy ship fires a warning shot. A beam of heat hit the ocean far from land. Just a test, a message, fast cuts, rising tension. Agents storm the cabin, but as they reach the front door, a sudden invisible force throws them back. The shield is up. Inside, Adam and Corinne brace for what's next. The alien ship begins, descending toward Earth, slow and terrible. Far away, other humans, scientists, soldiers, people in power, begin to notice the truth. We are not alone, but they don't know the full story yet. They don't know one alien broke the rules for kindness, and they don't know one human already chose to stand beside it. Trust tested by fire. The air was too still. Even the wind had stopped moving. Inside the cabin, Adam sat near the door, holding a flashlight and a metal tool he didn't know how to use as a weapon. Across from him, Corinne stood silent, its eyes fixed on the window. They both felt it. Something was coming. The ground trembled softly, almost like a breath. Somewhere in the sky above, unseen engines hummed. A low sound like a warning whispered across the planet. Corinne closed its eyes. Its skin glowed faint blue under the dim light. Then it opened them suddenly and pointed to the forest. "People?" Adam asked. Corinne nodded. Cut to, outside the cabin, 200 meters away, 5 agents crouched behind trees. The forest around them was wrapped in shadows. The leader raised a hand and whispered into his radio. "We have visual. Orders?" A cold voice came through. "Capture the asset. Kill the witness if necessary." The lead agent didn't blink. "Understood." They moved forward like wolves, quiet, fast, and ready to strike. Back inside the cabin, Corinne turned to Adam and reached for the small orb again, but Adam grabbed its hand. "No," he said softly. "They're humans." Corinne didn't understand the words, but it understood the emotion. "Let me try first," Adam said. Corinne hesitated, then nodded. Adam stepped outside slowly, raising his hands. "I know you're out there," he called into the darkness. "You don't have to do this." No answer. Then a red dot appeared on his chest. "Step away from the cabin," a voice shouted. Adam didn't move. "The one inside, he's not dangerous. He's injured. He needs help." The red dot stayed still. "We don't want trouble," Adam said. "He didn't crash here to invade. He crashed here because he was running from something worse." From the shadows, the lead agent stepped into view. His face was calm, but his eyes were sharp like knives. "That thing inside is not your friend," he said coldly. "It's a risk. To this planet. To you." Adam shook his head. "You're wrong." Another agent moved forward. Step aside, sir. Corinne watched from the window. It could see Adam, standing alone. No weapons, just his voice. This was what Corinne never understood before. Humans were not strong because of power. They were strong because of heart. Adam raised his voice. If you hurt him, you'll prove him right that this world isn't safe. That kindness is weakness. I won't let you do that. Suddenly, a shot fired. Adam flinched. But the bullet hit a tree beside him. Next one goes through your leg, the agent said. Inside, Corinne felt something ancient wake up. Not anger, not fear. Loyalty. It stepped outside, eyes glowing bright blue. The agents aimed their guns. Don't shoot, Adam shouted. Corinne raised its hand. A pulse of energy shot into the sky. Not an attack, but a signal. A warning. The trees shook. Lights flickered. The agents fell back, trying to understand what was happening. Then, from the sky, a second ship appeared. Not the enemy. A rescue ship. Corinne turned to Adam. They found me, it whispered. Adam's eyes widened. Your people? Corinne shook its head. Not mine. Exiles. Like me. Cut to orbit. Rescue vessel communication. A female alien voice came through. Corinne, you are not alone. We are here, but you must choose. Corinne looked at Adam. Choose. What? Adam asked. The voice echoed in Corinne's head. Leave this world and be safe. Or stay, and protect what gave you hope. Corinne looked at Earth, then at the rescue ship glowing above the clouds, and finally at Adam. Corinne stepped toward the agents. They raised their guns again. Adam moved to stop them. No, don't. Corinne dropped to its knees and placed its hands behind its head. The lead agent froze. What is it doing? One whispered. Adam ran between them. It's surrendering. Trust it. Cut to high orbit. Enemy ship watches silently. The alien commander observed the scene. Foolish, he said. Kindness is their weakness. But the rescue ship, watching too, replied across the stars. No, it is their strength, and now it is ours too. Rising fire, final choice. Suddenly, the enemy ship fired a second beam, this time at the forest. A huge explosion ripped through the trees. Flames rose. Animals ran. The ground shook. The agents screamed. Adam fell to the ground, covering his head. Corinne grabbed him and pulled up a glowing shield. Its last energy. The fire hit the shield but stopped. Smoke covered the sky. Trees burned. Corinne was on its knees, shaking. The shield was breaking. Adam held its shoulders. You saved me. Corinne looked at him, barely able to speak. You gave me something worth saving. Enemies from the stars. The sky had turned. Red flames still burned where the enemy's warning shot had landed. Smoke curled through the trees. The smell of ash hung in the air like a storm that refused to pass. Adam stood over Corinne, who lay weak from shielding the blast. The glowing energy that once pulsed under the alien's skin had faded to a soft flicker. Its breathing was shallow. Stay with me, Adam whispered, holding Corinne's hand. The agents nearby stood frozen, guns forgotten in their hands, fear in their eyes. Even they now understood. This was no ordinary event. This wasn't just a crashed ship. It was war. Cut to orbit. Enemy ship descends. From beyond the clouds, the enemy vessel appeared, a silent monster of black metal, covered in glowing red veins. No wings, no engines, just raw power shaped like a blade. It hovered above Earth like a god made of machines. Inside, the alien commander stepped forward. His skin was like burned steel, his eyes like empty stars. Around him stood warriors, tall, armored, ruthless. Prepare the ground team, he said. Crush the exile, burn the humans. Back on Earth, rescue ship sends warning. The voice from Corinne's allies echoed again through a hidden communicator inside the orb. Corinne, the enemy ship is deploying ground forces. You must evacuate now. Corinne opened its eyes. No, it whispered. Adam leaned closer. What do you mean, no? We have to go. Corinne shook its head slowly. If we run, they win again. It sat up, its body shaking. It reached toward the orb and pressed 3 fingers to the surface. A soft hum filled the air. A small screen opened. On it were images, maps, defense systems, the enemy's weak points. Adam stared at the screen. You want to fight? Corinne looked at him. Not want. Need. Cut to forest clearing. Agents regrouping. The lead agent, now shaken but alert, called for backup. We need everything. Drones, weapons, reinforcements. A younger agent pointed at Adam and Corinne. Are we helping them? The leader hesitated, then he said, We don't have a choice. That thing up there doesn't care who's innocent. They began preparing for battle. Cut to enemy drop pods entering Earth's atmosphere. From the belly of the enemy ship, black pods rained from the sky like comets. Each one hit the ground with a thunderous boom, cracking the earth. From them stepped tall, armored soldiers, alien warriors with sharp weapons, glowing eyes, and no mercy. Their only mission: destroy the exile and erase the evidence of its kindness. Back at the cabin, the battle begins. Adam, Corinne, and the agents stood ready. In the clearing, they had no army, no heavy weapons, just courage, one alien orb, and a strange hope that had grown between two very different beings. The first wave arrived. 3 enemy soldiers marching through fire and smoke. Corinne stepped forward, arms raised. A pulse of blue energy shot from its palms, throwing one soldier into the trees. Another raised its blade, almost like a sword made of light. Adam picked up a metal pipe. I don't know what I'm doing, he muttered. Corinne stepped beside him. You don't need to know, just don't give up. Intense action sequence, full cinematic moment. The clearing turned into a war zone. Corinne moved like lightning, dodging blasts, using its limited energy to shield others. Adam fought clumsily but bravely, saving one agent who had fallen. The agents, once enemies, now stood shoulder to shoulder with Corinne, firing at the invaders. The rescue ship in orbit fired down a beam to block more enemy pods from landing, but it wouldn't last. One of the enemy soldiers charged straight at Adam. Corinne jumped in front, taking the hit. It fell. Emotional slow-motion moment. Adam ran. To Corinne. No, stay with me, don't do this. Corinne coughed, blood or something like it slipping from its mouth. You showed me life, it whispered. Now, I give it back. Its hand glowed and touched Adam's chest. Suddenly, Adam's body lit up, not burning, but empowering. A wave of energy ran through him. Corinne's gift, a part of its power, passed to the one who had never asked for it. Adam rises, transformed by Corinne's light. His eyes now glowed faint blue. The energy gave him vision, strength, speed. Not to become a hero, but to become a shield. Adam stood up, facing the last wave of enemy soldiers. The forest roared with sound. Trees fell, lights crashed, but he did not run. He stood his ground. In the enemy ship, the commander growled. The human has it, the exile's power. He slammed a fist against the wall. We underestimated them again. Behind him, alarms blared. Another voice spoke across the ship. New signal detected. Multiple ships and entering system. The commander's eyes narrowed. Who else is coming? Hope was human. The forest was burning. Smoke covered the trees. Ash fell like dark snow. The earth trembled under heavy boots and fire. The enemy ship hovered like a storm cloud, casting a shadow over everything. And yet, Adam stood. His body shook, from exhaustion, but the soft blue glow inside his chest, Corinne's final gift, still burned. He looked down at Corinne's body, weak and fading. I'm not leaving you, he whispered. Corinne's lips moved. The words were broken, faint but clear. Yuki already gave me everything. Then its eyes closed. Adam held its hand tighter. Cut to enemy commander, inside the ship. The commander watched from above, his eyes locked on Adam. Fool, he said. He holds our lost weapon and wastes it on mercy. A soldier beside him spoke. Shall we finish it? The commander raised his hand. Not yet. Let him see how weak hope really is. Cut to the ground, enemy troops advancing. The last wave of enemy soldiers approached the clearing, 10 of them, armored, ruthless. They moved like machines, fire behind them, death ahead of them. Adam stood in their path, alone. He had no weapons, no armor, just the blue energy in his chest, and the memory of kindness. He remembered Karin's words, "Kindness is not weakness," and he believed it now, with everything he had. He stepped forward. Unexpected twist, help arrives. Suddenly the sky split open. New ships, sleek, silver, and beautiful, entered the atmosphere. Not warships, but carriers. Not from Karin's people, not from the enemy, from others, many others, aliens from forgotten planets, traitors, exiles, survivors. All had heard Karin's signal. Not just a call for help, a message. That Earth was different, that humans were different. The world that once stood alone now stood for something more. The enemy commander stared at the screen, stunned. They came. For him? Cut to humans, fighting back. In the forest, the agents rallied. Drones flew overhead, now armed with energy weapons sent from the rescue ships. The agents, once unsure, now stood with purpose. "Protect the human," the leader shouted. The humans formed a line. Beside Adam, Adam turned, surprised. "You don't have to." "We do," one agent said. "Because you did." Final battle. Hope versus power. The enemy soldiers charged. Adam raised his hands. The blue light burst from him, forming a dome, a shield of energy. The soldiers hit it, but the shield held. It wasn't just Karin's power anymore. It was human will. The soldiers began to crack. One by one, they fell. Behind them, the commander screamed in rage and descended in a drop pod, landing in the middle of the field like a dark god. He stepped out, tall, armored, burning with rage. He faced Adam. "You think this is victory?" He growled. "You're a weak race. You believe in kindness. That makes you easy to break." Adam stood his ground. "No. That makes us impossible to control." The commander rushed forward, swinging a burning blade. Adam closed his eyes. The blade struck, but it stopped. Karin was there, not standing, not fully alive. Just enough. Its hand caught the blade. "Not him," Karin whispered. Then, in one final act, Karin released all its energy in a pulse of light so bright it cut through the sky. The commander screamed, the soldiers screamed, and then silence. Aftermath. Days later. The fires were gone. The smoke had cleared. Karin's body had vanished, leaving only the orb behind, a soft blue light that never faded. Adam stood at the edge of the forest, looking up at the sky. A small group of peaceful aliens now walked among humans, helping rebuild, offering quiet thanks. The agents had changed too, no longer hunters, now watchers, protectors. The world had changed, because of one crash, because of one stranger who chose kindness. In the great silence of space, most races feared the dark, and they chose strength. But Karin found something stronger, something older, something no empire, no warship, no weapon could destroy. A small world, a quiet cabin, and a human who refused to let a stranger die. The galaxy would remember the day an alien found hope, and it looked like us. The end.